Mr. Rahul Tripathi, Dr. Ishwar Singh, for taking a keen interest in organizing this program. They always say, a university is that which brings out all abilities, including inabilities. Today our nation is at a juncture where the inabilities of the political class as a whole, of the ruling elite as a whole, are coming to light. The deficiencies as regards whether they are able to be a solution to the problems faced by society are coming to light. Rather, they are being dragged from darkness to light, because the solutions were always lost in darkness. And for the first time, maybe, citizens of India as a whole, almost everybody, whether you are old, whether you are young, whether you are middle-aged, whether you are from a city, whether you are from a village, they feel that we are responsible for what is happening, or that if something has to stop, if some solution has to be found, it cannot be done just by watching TV serials at home. But maybe we have to come on streets, maybe we have to shout, maybe we have to write a letter in the newspaper. This kind of a belonging to the society, belonging to the nation, a love of nation, I think, and which prompts and coercive action. I think my definition of civil society is it is that which prompts this coercive collective action, this patriotism, this love for nation, this sense of belonging. That is what I would call as a civil society. In a layman's language, if you go in a village and ask them what is civil society, they would answer you in one line, and which is perhaps a better definition than all the definitions that we will give you. The definition of civil society is I am Anna. That is the new unique definition of civil society which we are evolving today. One of the major questions our organizers have outlined, this is an academic seminar, we are not speaking here for claps. You may agree some view. Let us not waste time in clapping. You may disagree with some view. Let us not waste time in doing the things. One of the major issues that I would take up, the various issues are outlined, all of them are important, but at the limited time at my disposal, the basic issue that I will take up in this is, are Team Anna's demands within the ambit of parliamentary democracy or outside? This is a major question that is posed, because often we are told that look, what the civil society symbolized by Anna Hazare is demanding today is sabotaging democracy. It is backstabbing democracy. Is that true? If we have to answer this, perhaps we cannot answer it in the abstract. We will have to go in a concrete, we will have to see what these demands are. And then we will have to see whether they are against democracy, for democracy. I leave the answers to you. The demands are so simple. First, the issue which has been identified all over is that of Prime Minister. What Team Anna has been demanding is, Lokpal should have power to investigate allegations of corruption against Prime Minister. Special safeguards should be provided against frivolous and mischievous complaints. On the other hand, the government's view is, Prime Minister should be kept out of Lokpal's view. The question is not really who is right and who is wrong, but the question is, if Prime Minister comes within the ambit of a Lokpal, does it mean that democracy is destroyed or democracy is weakened? That is the question. Now, as of today, it is not as if, see, one argument which they give outside is, no, if the Prime Minister comes within the ambit of Lokpal, there will be a danger to stability. Why there will be a danger to stability? Is it because if the Prime Minister is proved corrupt, then the governments will change? We would rather have a government which has an honest Prime Minister. I am not commenting on whether the present person who is in the chair is corrupt or not. We are talking for all the future ages. I mean, we cannot live on a make-believe world. That is what my answer would be. And therefore, I mean, all those arguments of stability, in fact, the very principle of democracy is not stability, but democracy survives on the sword of instability. What is democracy? Democracy is a sword that we hang on our electoral people, those who are elected, that if you don't behave according to the wishes of the people, you will be pulled down. There will be an instability. So contrary to the popular notion, if you are saying that no, the stability will go, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, stability was never and is never the foundation of democracy. It is always the fear of instability, that if you don't respect the people, our government will be unstable. That is the foundation. Again, what are we worried about? They say that no, there will be too many complaints. If there are too many complaints, there are safeguards in what Anna team has suggested as to what should be investigated. And is it the case that if there is a corruption against the Prime Minister, it should never be investigated? They say that no, you can do the things now. Let the Prime, as a compromise formula, they say, let the Prime Minister come in when he is retired, or he has resigned, or he is no more the Prime Minister. Who are we? Who are we fooling? That is the question. Now, in fact, under the Prevention of the Corruption Act, which is existing as of today, under the present setup, yes, the Prime Minister can be investigated, but this kind of investigation under the existing law is done by the CBI, and CBI comes directly under the Prime Minister. I will not waste time on whether a CBI, if you go on feeding a dog, the CBI may be a watchdog of the nation, but if you go on feeding a dog, it will never bite the hand which feeds it. That is a simple thing. Therefore, where is the danger to democracy? That is the question that I would ask. What are we asking is strengthen democracy. Let there be a neutral agency. I don't see any difficulty in this. Next, let us go to the judiciary. Yes, there is a principle of balance of executive, legislature and the judiciary in a parliamentary democracy. Now, what is Team Anna asking? What Team Anna is asking is lokpal should have powers to investigate allegation of corruption against judiciary. Special safeguards should be provided against frivolous and mischievous complaint. The government's version says judiciary should be kept out of lokpal view. Now, what the government says is this should be included in the Judicial Accountability Bill. Permission to inquire against a judge will be given by 3-member committee, 2 judges from same court and retired chief justice, etc., etc. Now, there is no objection if you include under that, but when is that bill coming?